Hi there, welcome to the Vulnerable Scientist podcast. So, in this episode, I have something interesting for you to hear. Okay, so I came across this press release, or rather, a press release that was copy pasted in different science related blogs and news channels that talked about why it is important to tell people or to tell people who come after you, especially the scientists, the struggles and the the hurdles that you go through when you're doing science or when you're doing your research. So apart from the scientists, according to now my theory, apart from the scientists using this platform as an outlet with their struggles, either current or previous, this is also something that is helpful for someone who's out there and who will go into research or who might go through the same path that you're going through to succeed in their own work. So this study, it was performed on high school students in New York, around 402 students, 9th and 10th grade students, where the control group read 800 typical science textbooks description about the great accomplishments of Einstein, Curie, and Michael Faraday. That's an English scientist who made important discoveries about electromagnetism. Then another group read about the scientist's personal struggles, including Einstein's flight from Nazi Germany to avoid persecution as a Jew. The third group of students read about the scientist's intellectual struggles, such as Curie's persistence despite a string of failed experiments. The struggle stories included actions the scientists took to overcome these hurdles. So at the end of the 6-week grading period, students who learned about the scientist's intellectual or personal struggles had significantly improved the science grades, with low achievers benefiting the most. The students in the control group who only learned about the scientist's achievements not only didn't see a grade increase, they had lower grades than the previous grading period before the study began. The research, which was supported by a grant from the National Foundation, was published online in the Journal of Educational Psychology. So the lead researcher said, when kids think Einstein is a genius who's different from everyone else, then they believe they will never measure up. Many students don't realize that all successes require a long journey with many failures along the way. Students who read about the scientist's intellectual or personal struggles were more likely to say the famous scientists were people like themselves who had overcome failures and obstacles to succeed. Students in the control group more often believed the great scientists had innate talent and a special aptitude for science. The study suggests that science textbooks should highlight the struggles of great scientists and provide more vivid narrative descriptions of the techniques that scientists use to overcome challenges. That's what the lead researcher Lin-Siegler said. She's an associate professor of the cognitive studies at the Columbia University's Teachers College. Many kids don't see science as part of their everyday lives. We teach them important content, but we never bring it to life, she said. Our science curriculum is impersonal, and kids have a hard time relating to it because they just see a long list of facts that they have to memorize. So just in case you're curious to know about what the students or the sample size looked like, it included 37% Latino, 31% Black, 11% biracial, 8% Asian, 7% white, and 5% other. Okay, so I should have mentioned that this is a low-income area. So the Bronx and the Harlem. So that's why you can see that racial disparity. So the article, it's titled just one. If in case you want to read more on it, it's called "Even Einstein Struggled: Effects of Learning About Great Scientists' Struggles on High School Students' Motivation to Learn Science." So the lead researcher, as I mentioned before, is Xiaodong, I think that's how you say it. Xiaodong Lin-Siegler. And something that I find interesting is it is very important to tell people's struggles, either intellectual or personal. It can be nothing to do related to science, but of course, personal struggles affect the way people's effectiveness or people's output in a work setting or in a school setting or whatever setting they are in, and also the intellectual struggles, things that are relating to the science that someone is doing, is important so that things didn't come easy for everyone else. Because for me, when I entered into this space, I didn't think so much that there's someone else who also struggles doing the science, or rather I felt like something as simple as just doing it and getting the results, but that wasn't the truth. There's a lot of struggles that come with it, and I feel it's important for people to talk about those struggles. As much as we celebrate the wins, it's important for people to talk about those struggles for their own benefit, and also, most importantly, for other people who are struggling, either currently in that space, and they can hear your voice and they can just know that there's someone else out there who's struggling the same way I'm struggling, or there's someone who has a similar experience and this is what they've done to overcome that struggle. Even before even being told how they overcome that struggle, just being told that there's someone else struggling makes someone feel comfortable, or makes them feel better that they are not alone in that journey. So I encourage you as a scientist or anyone who is in the science or research space to come in and tell us what they're currently struggling with or they struggled with before, and maybe we can celebrate the good things that came out of it, if there are any so far. So if you want to get in touch with me, kindly search for Sarah Nyanchera, or I'll just link the link to my contact to my website on the show notes, so that you can easily get in touch with me. If you want to be anonymous and want to give your piece of something into the podcast, I'll give us link of the audio message where you can record an audio message and send it to me, and I will include in the next episode. So if you feel that you don't want to be known, because I felt when I've been reading some things here, I felt like there's some people, if they want to talk about the sensitive part of things, they kind of don't want to let the identity to be known, and that's okay. If you're not in a space where you want to talk about those things openly, maybe that time will come, and if it never comes, it's okay. The information is the most important part of it. So kindly just click on the audio message link, and I'll get your message and include that audio message onto this podcast, and someone else out there will listen to you and your message that you have. And it's also good to just talk. Just talking is having a problem half solved, Yeah, so bye-bye. Do you want to start your own podcast? Start with some simple gear that you already have and a quiet space. Simple gear includes a microphone, editing software, and host of your podcast. Simple microphones include the ones on your phones and computers, or a simple recorder, which you can upgrade later. For the editing software, I use Audacity, which is free and simple to use. Buzzsprout, which over 1,000 other fellow podcasters like me use, is one of the podcast hosting providers you can use. Buzzsprout has helped me link my show on every major podcast platform. With the endless number and regularly updated tutorials and good customer service support Buzzsprout offers, my podcasting journey has been made easy. Following the link in the show notes, let's Buzzsprout know we sent you, gets you a $20 Amazon gift card if you sign up for a paid plan, and helps support our show.